All right, man. I was going already. It is Tuesday. I was about to say Thursday. It's Tuesday, August 5th. We got a good show coming to you. We hope. Hopefully it's better than yesterday or the day before or the one before that. We're trying to get better every day. Yesterday was really good.
We're actually getting worse.
That's what I keep thinking, man. I think this show is getting worse and worse. You got to let us know or we're going to stop this thing because this is madness now. We're talking about packaging today. We're talking about labels. We're talking about stickers. Who you'll call, you say labels, I say stickers. That's
stickers. Let's call the whole thing off.
Exactly. If you think labels are packaging, I want to see you in the comments. Let us know. Also, let us know where you're watching from. Because I don't know. I don't think labels are just packaging. But we got our boy Adam Peak, host of People of Packaging podcast. He also thinks that labels are stickers.
I know. I'm resolved that labels are packaging, and we need to know where you're from because we're going to be talking about a new label company, Velio.
Yeah, new label company. It's Label King of Utah, and they've been pretty secretive for a while, and we get to uncover who this Label King is. Label King of Utah coming at you live here. What's up, Clayton?
Yeah.
All right, man. So what do you got going on this week, Adam?
Yeah, I'm just excited to. No, you can come on it. It's fine. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Okay.
What is this?
Hey, everybody!
He's wearing a crown and he's got a golden stick.
It's a plastic stick. Gotta love Amazon,
dude.
Yeah, I got whatever is this, a cape of some sort?
Yeah, you look like Muhammad Ali with that cape on.
Yeah, something like that. Sorry, Hugh. I've got these things are uneven. My bad. Yeah, so I've kind of been teasing this for a little while here on LinkedIn, but that's my fun big news is I have partnered with Label King. So Label King is a company originated in San Diego 2002. So 23 years ago, Robert Parker and his incredible wife Kim started Label King there. When I ventured out on my own, I connected up with him and he was just interested in, just where is there new market expansion? Where could he grow? That kind of stuff. And we settled on growing in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is super cool. And so if you've been following and seeing some of my photos, it's our building. So we have a building here in Utah. Got a grand opening coming.
Yeah.
On 28th, 8/28/25, we'll have our grand opening here. And the thing I'm really excited about a lot of stuff with this. But the thing I'm most excited about is being able to kind of share about like building and starting a company like this with everybody. Like, it's not like, oh, and we bought a company. Like, this is all from the ground up. And
so in Salt Lake, you picked out a building. Like, what have you done so far?
By the way, pull up AJ's comment, dude. You nailed it. So I put a picture, and it was like a weird picture, and he must have reverse Google image searched it and pulled up like the commercial listing, and he was like, "What are you going to do with the other 14,312 square feet?" I was like, "Holy crap! I got to get this announcement out early. People are smart." Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah,
we're talking to you.
Yeah. No, that was pretty amazing. Yeah. So anyway, I forgot your question already.
All right. So you got a building, and then like, what have you done so far?
Yeah. So we've got we've got a 10-inch Mark Andy Flexo press. That's 8 colors.
Mm-hmm. That's a really small press, dude. Like,
yeah, it's only 10 inches long. So it's just very quick, just very tiny labels. What is this? A label printer for ants?
for people who can't read good.
For people who can't read good. No, it's 10 inches wide. It's fairly long. And we're qualifying a bunch of stuff right now. So I'll kind of go through the process of, man, what's it like to install a Flexo printing press with 2 UV stations? We've got a rewind table. Elio's lights just turned off.
It's lightning.
Wow.
All right,
basketball hoop, which is very important.
So you've got this press.
Mhm.
I know nothing about like sticker printing. So like, how many colors can you print?
So our press is 8 colors,
Wow.
which is pretty normal for a Flexo label press, because you're typically going to want to be able to have, 4 colors plus some spot. It's an older press. So the press is built in 2007, which is kind of cool about these presses is they do tend to last a very long time, just because of how they're built. So Flexo versus digital presses don't have the longest. They don't have as long of a lifespan typically, because they're a lot more computer driven.
Yeah,
this is a pretty mechanical press.
Cool. So all right, so it's like it's 10 inches wide. You got 8 colors. You can run 8 colors on there. When you're printing labels, like what are the last? Like typically, if you're doing an offset or Flexo on paper, you're gonna have your last 2 stations. Your last station might be like a varnish or some kind of coating. Like, is that the same? Is that the same for labels?
Yeah. So there's typically, so we have a UV station up front, and then a UV station, and then it's all water based in the middle. So the UV station, there's typically a UV varnish that'll go on last, or an over laminate. So we can also apply a laminate down at the end, and then the final step is usually die cutting. We also have the ability to sheet off the end.
Is it die cut off the back end? Like,
yeah. So it's going to die cut. It's going to basically kiss cut the label to the matrix or the liner, and then it's going to remove the trim off of there and collect the trim. So yeah, it's been super fascinating so far.
Cool, man. Chris has a question. Are there any plans to introduce new print technologies or materials at the SLC label, at the SLC branch that'll make these packaging, not stickers?
Yeah. There's a lot of room for us to grow here, to be honest with you. Like, we didn't, if we were just going to put one press into this area, we would not have the size of building that we have. So we're pretty excited to expand and grow within wherever it makes sense. So there are a lot of thanks, Andrew. There's a lot of pretty cool new materials that are coming out. There's a lot of label liner recycling initiatives that I've been a part of. If you don't know, I've been in the label printing industry since about 2011. And so I've just never been this close to it. Yeah. I've always been in sales and marketing. And so it's been fascinating. I think Matt asked, do you know how to run it? I would need help for sure. Definitely
turn it on.
I can turn it on.
That's all you need.
I know how to do that.
Turn it on and then chat GPT the rest.
It would be pretty tough.
I think,
and to be fair, like, we're not like, we'll have this grand opening here in a few weeks, and the reason why it's in a few weeks is because we still have stuff to kind of get done here. But it's been an incredible process up until this point. Even like today, I was kind of working around like, what is like, this like no code or like vibe coding on, Gemini or ChatGPT, like, how is that going to impact our industry? And so to Chris's question, it's like print technologies and materials, there's innovation, but innovation happens really slow there. I think there are some other ways that you'll see us coming out with that'll be pretty innovative on a lot of the processes. A lot of process innovation is kind of where I'm focused currently.
So, all right. So like we know our buddy Hugh, they do maple syrup. They
Yes.
do glass bottles with labels on them. So like at this stage, like what's the perfect customer for Hugh?
Probably the one who pays their invoices.
Mm.
That would be a really good one.
That's a good starting point.
Yeah. If you are somebody who buys labels and you like to pay for your labels, so the cool part about the two facilities is, and why I didn't want to just go do this on my own, because that sounds exhausting, is like Robert. I'm gonna have Robert on my podcast this week to talk with him. He has built, really an incredible business in San Diego. Like I said, been around for 23 years. He's got he has digital capabilities down there. He has a brand new Flexo press. He's got a couple of invoice. Yes, Hugh, that's true. Invoice paying customers are the best. So we can do digital, we can do Flexo. Like I could actually, if somebody were to hit me up right now and be like, dude, I need labels. Our label printer is terrible. First of all, that would be bad. That would suck for you. It would be great for me. So I could actually get labels to people, which is why I wanted to kind of make this announcement.
Yeah.
Good, Stephanie. I'm glad.
Yes, Stephanie. It's like she takes pride in paying her invoices.
This is the best.
Yeah, I think that's what you should. You should be proud to pay everything on time. Although it is kind of nice to not pay things on time, because then you can stretch it out and stretch your catch out. I get.
Yeah,
I get it. Matt's asking if it's been hard to find like pressmen and help for this kind of thing.
Fortunately for me, this would be, I think, a testament to the importance of building a network. Like I didn't set out to do this in 2012 because I was like, oh, maybe eventually I can wear a cheap crown and go live on the internet and talk about opening up a label printing facility. But it's cool to me because I just get to know a lot of people, because I'm not just, you and I aren't just like, oh, we're going to make content online and then never meet anybody. And so I've just met a lot of people in the area. And so I have a couple of pretty cool people that are going to be working with me. And I'm really excited about that. More to come on that front.
Awesome. And then AJ's asking, what kind of MOQs are you running on that little press?
So here's the thing about Flexo printing.
Is like, all right, it's 10-inch. You can run 10-inch wide.
Yes.
Roll. And I know nothing about labels. Like, how big is the actual machine?
How about one of these days I'll just go mobile on my phone. I feel like the machine is like, yeah, we can kind of go out and see it. But the length of it is, I don't know.
It's like a dinner table.
35, 40 feet.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So it's long. I mean, and then there's also there's blowers, because they run really fast. They run 200 to 300 feet per minute. Some of them are going faster than that. So you have to be able to put down the ink and dry it very, really quickly. And so there's all sorts of ancillary things that are going on with the label printing press. And because of that, I'll get to AJ's question here. MOQs on a Flexo press, it's always been this way, are largely dependent on the setup and the wash up time. So
if I want to do 1,000 labels, how does setup and wash up impact me?
So let's say it's 1,000 labels and it's 8 colors. So you have to mount 8, and it's all unique inks. Yeah. So they're all 8 specific Pantone colors. So you have to mount the plates. You have to mix the inks. And there's a lot of companies that will have somebody doing this while the press is running. We're going to have one person doing all of this for now. and then also running the press. So
Sure.
it can take a couple of hours, honestly, to get the press set up. And then maybe an hour or so to wash the whole thing up. So you could, if it, let's say it took, this is why digital is so important, is because if it takes 4 hours to set, if it takes half a day to set up a printing press just to run 1,000 labels of 8 colors, that's no good. And so that's why you'd want to run those digital, right? But if you're going to set it up and run it for 3 days.
Yeah. So if I'm running like 200,000 labels or something.
Yeah, it's going to be way more cost effective than digital often, because once you're invested in the setup, similar to offset printing a little bit, like once you're invested, once the time is already done, you want to hit go and you want to not have to tear down that machine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how the MOQ answer is. But I will say right now, like, I'll run 1,000 labels just to learn. You know what I mean? Like just to kind of go through the process, even though it would be more efficient to run it in San Diego digitally. Like I'll do it, not because it's going to be,
it's not profitable.
We won't make money on that. But if you pay your invoice, we'll lose less money.
So like, all right. So you've got 8 stations. Are there, I'm assuming there are plate costs. Like what is a typical plate cost?
It's not
like average.
Yeah. Okay. It's, you're talking $35 to $50. I mean, it kind of depends on the repeat size of it. It's just a material cost is all. And we found a tremendous.
Are there different like repeat sizes?
Oh yeah.
So there's just like one cylinder with a specific circumference.
No. I have racks of print cylinders here that are all different tooth gears based on the repeat size. So
can you explain repeat size?
Yeah. So these are the print cylinders are gonna go with the speed of the press, right? So they're gonna be turning like this and laying down ink. And so if you have a 3-inch label, that's going to be a smaller cylinder and a smaller a plate versus a 10-inch long label. If you had a 3-inch by 10-inch and it was 3 across on a press, you're going to be looking at a larger print cylinder because it needs more time to hit on the material.
Do you have one impression per cylinder, or are there multiple impressions per cylinder to get that repeat?
There are, so it's multiple across typically, but it's going to be one along usually. I guess that's not true. You can do multiple impressions along it. It just depends on yes. So you definitely can. These are things that I'm learning about, by the way. So if there's somebody out here who's like, I've been making Flexo labels for 50 years, it's like, I'm going to not know things, but I'm going to learn it.
Yeah, so, but your team and support knows all this. They've been doing it forever, right? And your pressman's been running these things for forever,
for a long time. Yeah. And so, and like I said about like having a great network, like there are people here in the Salt Lake market. For example, there's a pre-press house here that's been incredible. The company is Pacific Color, so they've been helping me out a tremendous amount. So they make our plates, and we're nobody to them, and like they answer the phone. They've been awesome. So I'm excited to have them on the podcast and kind of talk about what they do.
Yeah. Charlie's going to be so busy.
Charlie's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting here.
That's right. Matt's saying high speed long runs are the best. Right? And he's asking how many feet per second.
Yeah, again, that's going to depend on really like how the press is running. So, some shifts, some things are going to run faster than others, just based on the ink and the die cut station and, even the adhesive. So sometimes the adhesive isn't peeling off as clean. So you have to slow the press down in order for the matrix to pull off. So it's all tied in together.
But again, I know nothing about labels. But you're loading like a pre-glued
Yeah.
stock, right? Like you got the backer and label together, and you're just printing on that thing. You're not laying down adhesive on these things.
Correct. Yeah. So most label printing is done by a converter. There's very few companies who are like vertically integrated, where and I don't know of anyone that would take the face stock and the adhesive, marry them together, and then put it on a liner, and then go straight into the press. That would be those are completely different pieces of equipment. So we are going to be buying master rolls. So it might be, say it's a 10-inch wide roll. It's going to be huge. And then that's going to go through, it's webbed through the press. It's going to get printed. And that goes to a rewinder, who's then going to take those labels that have been printed and die cut on a big roll. And they might be 3 across in this case. And they get slit at a rewind table and put onto smaller rolls that can then go onto machines. It's kind of how the process
that's a separate machine.
For us, yes. There are some companies that will have a rewinder at the end, and that's not what we're doing right now. And that has its pluses and minuses, because that can also limit how fast you can run on your press if you have to rewind off the press, because it's all tied together.
What's the coolest thing you've learned about labels since doing this that you didn't know before?
Oh, I've learned that salespeople understandably don't spend a lot of time in printing facilities. And there's a lot that happens. So when I was selling labels, I did not realize the sheer amount of time that it might take to gather up everything, just to get everything ready for the press. Like when you're in sales, it's just like, what's the big deal?
Yeah. Just hurry up, man.
Print the stickers. My customer needs them. Let's go. And now it's like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I understand why we couldn't get that done. Yeah, and it honestly, just even like, my favorite thing has just been like talking to people about it and being like having my kids be here to be like, hey, do you want to see how this thing gets set up? Like, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to share about it. And candidly, I'm just excited to kind of innovate and figure stuff out. So yeah, I don't know.
No, it's cool. Just looking at Matt's embellishments here. His favorites are tinted foil, reverse print on clear, and cold foil.
Yeah, there's some really cool embellishments. There's some fascinating piece of equipment. So I'll be at Label Expo in Europe in September, and I'm excited to learn and kind of go to these things not as just like, just a content creator, but now
you're going as the label king. Are you going with your crown and your cape and your?
I'll bring it all.
You got it. You got to walk around.
Traveling on the freaking plane. Make way for Prince Label King. No, Label King. Sorry. No, it's super fun. And I'll kind of go back to this. Like, Robert Parker has won. He's won a ton of awards. Like, if you go to the website, thelabelking.com, you'll see like they win a lot of printing awards. And it's because they just have done the right thing over and over. And like, literally everything that he has, that we have talked about has been like, how is this best for other people? And that's not always normal, to be totally honest. And so it's been really fun. And I will add to that. I had a very similar, and the leadership at Myers is also really similar. I just want to make it clear, like, that's not a shade. Like, Myers was always about that. Label King's been about, like, there are really cool companies out there. It's not just, we're not just like not the only one doing this. But because there's been, sorry, I could talk for a while about this because I've been thinking about it for a lot, but there's been so much consolidation in the label printing space. If you know, a lot of private equity backed companies have come in, bought some really great companies. which is good. There's good things with that. But I think there's room for a independent, innovative label printing company. Obviously, I think there's room for it. I think there's room for growth, and more to come. I'm not just going to talk about Label King though every time on this show. I hope everybody is acutely aware of that fact. But we'll have segments where I'll go show various things.
I'd love to see like what's going on production wise. Like, again, not knowing labels, and like, you know, I can imagine because I do a ton of offset and, you know, Flexo stuff, but yeah, it'd be cool just to kind of learn and get hands on and see what's going on. Obviously, it'll be extremely loud,
but it'll be cool. We'll go
yeah,
some stuff there for sure.
For sure. And then if we get like, you know, if you get any kind of cool like maple syrup brands that you're running labels for, like, man,
maybe. I will say that one thing that would be super helpful is if you are, you know, like if you work for a you know, a really great packaging distribution company or a brokerage company, or if you do buy labels, like I'm not going to sit here and like beg and grovel to like send me business, but I would love to quote on some things because I'm trying to figure out like this is all brand new. So like that's super helpful for me. Yeah. If you just give me feedback on like market, you know, some market value stuff, we think we have a pretty good idea, but like just feedback right now is so incredibly helpful. So hit me up.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's definitely important. I'm looking at AJ. There's something nice about knowing who you're going to talk to when you call. Big companies can drive down costs, but if you want a relationship, that's, you know, definitely worth it. And knowing that you've got somebody that you can actually pick up the phone and talk to and like, hey, how do we achieve X? And you can plan together.
And that's totally true. Right now, there's been an interesting sort of like time vortex where I do think some big companies are actually becoming more expensive. And that there's a whole conversation around that. Not because they want to, but because there's certain economic forces that are driving that. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities. I'll just say that. So,
perfect.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked. I do got to bounce here at 9, but I'm gonna if you're in Utah or if you want to fly to Utah on the 28th, we're gonna have a super fun. Sorry, that was my Teams meeting starting.
Yeah, I'm like, I driving?
No, that was me. That was totally me. But we're gonna have a grand opening celebration. I'll be talking more about it. I've got a sign up form, so you should come.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Adam. Congratulations and good luck. Reach out to Adam at labelking.com.
Label King.